All right, guys, this is going to be super exciting. We got Vivian, we got Adriano. This is the power couple that not a lot of people are aware of, but this is the power couple that's taking over the company. Okay, so I want to hear. I'm super excited to hear what they're doing, and so is Jordan Lowry. So we got him on the call as well. We got a bunch of people that are super excited, dropping 777 in the comments if you're excited. And yeah, let's just dive right in. I'm going to put it as speaker view, so anybody that wants to talk. But yeah, we got Vivian Weyll. So if you guys know, wait, how do you say your last name?
Weyll.
Weyll, okay? It's like a German last name, right? So I got to get it right. Weyll, okay? Vivian Weyll.
But it is German.
It is German. See, I knew it. I freaking knew it. So, and then we got Adriano D'Andrea, okay? He's a legend, but he's working in the background. He's the mastermind that's exploding their team as well. So both of them are killers. If you guys don't know, first thing, Vivian sold 100K her first month. Okay, I can just, this intro is gonna be a little long because they do so much. So Vivian did 100K her first month, which blew everybody out of the water. Then she sold 50K while pregnant, which is another insane thing. And then we got their team grew from 20K to 200K in 90 days. So they exploded 1,000%, and they're probably gonna beat Richard's record and stuff. So we definitely want to hear what they have to say. It's gonna be super exciting. First thing, guys, you guys can both hear me clearly, right?
Sir.
Perfect. So first thing, where are you guys located at?
We're out of Miami. That's where we live. Not originally from Miami, but that's kind of where we ended up, and that's where we are.
That's awesome. That's super cool. And so now I know we're going to touch on Vivian's production a little bit, and then we're going to go into the process of how you guys, hire and build and grow. We had Hamadi on, we had Richard, and now we have.
Hey, Alex, can you allow my video?
Yeah, absolutely. We got the hottest new power couple as well. So, as far as production, Vivian, is it true you sold 100K your first month? Is that true?
107,000.
Don't forget the 7.
Yeah, very important.
There's a 7 in there. It's my favorite number.
Heck yeah. I love 7.
Guys, I'm just traveling today, so I'm in the car, but I'm excited to interview you guys and learn about what you guys have done to build a team, learn about how you produce at a high level, and kind of go from there. So
good stuff, man. Let's do it.
Thank you so much for having us. We're very
honored.
Oh, I know Jordan's really excited too. So we're both super excited. So you sold 107K your first month. And just real quick, what's the Josh is saying it's 117K now, but what was the lead cost for that? And then also how many appointments did you run per week? And then give us a taste of your in-home, and then that'll kind of cover a lot of the questions we have.
My lead cost is always the same. Actually, I spend $2,500 a week. So I usually spend $10,000 a month. Wow. And I'm gonna have months that I work harder on those leads and I'm gonna make more money, and some months I don't work as hard, so I'll make less money because I have to do my own mail drops here in Miami. I can't just get by per leads, a mortgage protection and final expense. So yeah, I spend about $10,000 a month. If I have to spend more, I will. I really don't have a problem with spending money in leads because I know, it's just, I'm investing in myself. So, I don't have a problem with that. What was your other question, Alex?
Oh yeah. So, how much you spend on leads, how many appointments you run per week, and give us your kind of your in-home breakdown, because I think everyone was super interested in that.
Yeah, I set 16 appointments every dial day. That does not mean I will run all of them. Because I take my time in the home. Literally, it's actually a joke. Oh, Vivian's in the home. You have to wait 3 hours for her to answer your message. It's true. I really take my time in the home. For me, this business is not about making money. This business is about helping people. And I think that the best way that I can help people is by really learning about them and finding what's the best way to put them in a better situation than they were before I walked into their home, right? And I think that's why I'm successful, because I care before anything. So I take my time, and a lot of times I will set 8 appointments a day, but I can only really run 4. That's just the reality. my home is, the majority of my appointments are mortgage protection. My home is, I basically go in and introduce myself. I do what I call a role and purpose, which is I tell them what I'm coming here to do. And you know what a role and purpose is. We came from the same practice company. I do a role and purpose. I make sure to help them understand what I'm there to do, and let them know that I'm not here to grab their money. I'm here to find out if they need mortgage protection, and if they do, I will help them out. And I let them know that the majority of the times, the majority of the people that I meet, they need less than what they think they do. So I can set them up for what we call critical periods or equity protection, which is the majority of the mortgage protection I do here in Miami, because most people are older, right? So it's all about setting up the tone of that appointment, making sure they understand, they are comfortable with myself, they trust me. And then after that, I go and I do the the credibility sheet. I fill out the information. I'm very good with underwriting, so I will know right away what it is that they qualify for. The moment that I find out what they qualify for, I'll flip my sheet. And on the back of my sheet, I'm going to set up what it is that I'm going to present them. If they're young and they're healthy, I'm going to go for a full mortgage payoff, half mortgage payoff. I always offer 2 options at least, sometimes 3 options. If I'm doing critical period equity protection, I do 3 options. But, I will set up, before I can even get to it, I'm setting up the table for what it is I'm going to show them. And I'm setting up what it is that I want them to pick, because people want to be led. If you go in there and you're not sure what you're doing, you're not sure what it is that you're gonna show them, and you're not sure what they're gonna pick, you're gonna lose that sale. So I set up in a way that I know exactly what they're gonna answer me. I do a little financial inventory, what I call a financial fire drill. I find out where their finances are, where they're putting their money. If there's no money, I will find the money for that policy, where we're going to cut to be able to put in here, because this is important. And I build the value. Yesterday, one of my top agent right now, Austin's phenomenal. He's 24 years old, issuing $40,000 a month. He calls me and he says, Vivian, this couple, they're all set. They don't need mortgage protection. And I'm like, hold on a minute, call me. And then, so he calls me, and then I ask what the situation is. I'm like, Austin, everybody needs life insurance unless they have no beneficiaries. Like if they have $500,000 on their 401ks, and they have no wife, no kids, and nobody's going to be out of their house in case, God forbid, something happens. Everybody needs life insurance. So I asked a few questions, and then I told him, you have to build the value. That's very, very important. If there's no value, nobody wants to buy anything. But if there is value, they are going to make space in their budget for it. So I find out where their finances are. I build that value, and then I do a little graph, and I show them, do a little round thing, and I put little segments, and then I say, okay, so this is you, Mary. This is you, John. This is how much your life cost. And I kill them. I literally kill them, because I need them to understand how important this is. So I say, I'm sorry, Mary, I'm going to have to kill you real quick. Okay. But I'm going to bring you back to life. So I literally cross them out, and I say, John, how would that turn out for you if Mary is not here anymore? And then they are looking at that number. So I really make them think, so they understand how horrible that would be in case, God forbid, something were to happen. If that is the situation, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're going there and they really don't need much. They need a little equity protection, or something like that. And I'm very honest, and I've gone to homes many times, and I said, you don't need mortgage protection. The case was he did not have a beneficiary. The beneficiary was a niece. There was no kids that were in a situation that would be without a home or a wife. And I told him, you don't need it. And then he got it anyway, because I told him he didn't need it. So that's it. I kind of show the value, I build it up. And then after that, we all agree we need this, great. And then I'll show the options. I always show, usually, if they're young and healthy, 2 options, full and half. If they are a little bit older, I show 3 options of critical period or equity protection. And I always let them know that's what I use right before showing the options, which I think it works really, really great. is I always say, listen, Alex, there's 3 reasons people will tell me they want to think about it, they want to pray about it, they want to, wait about it. The first one is because I did a really poor job, explaining what this protection can do to you. And if that's the case, please let me know. I'll be happy to go back and recap. The second one is because you just don't care. If you don't care, there's nothing I can do for you, buddy. If you don't care, we can stop here. I don't even need to show you any options. And the third option is because it's unaffordable. Let me tell you something. I write policies on a regular basis for $5 a month and for $5,000 a month. If for some reason what I'm showing you is unaffordable, all I need you to do is tell me. You tell me, we're gonna find something that fits in your budget. And I always say this, people love it, it's funny, it works. I say, listen, I really want a Ferrari. Can you see me driving a Ferrari? Come on, I was made to be in a Ferrari, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna drive my Volvo, okay? So the goal is we find something that fits in your budget, that works for you, that will give you the protection you're looking for. So just tell me, don't tell me you wanna think about it, okay? And when they say, okay, I don't get to think about. So I show them the options, we find the option that's comfortable, and then we write the application.
Boom. Oh my gosh. That just blew my mind. Okay. That's insane. I mean, you wipe away the biggest objection. You go through it before they even see numbers, before they see anything. And then you break it down, you show them. That's incredible, Vivian. That's like that. You just killed it. Like, I was like, let me just shut up and listen, because you are just killing it right now. So like, you're just killing it. So, guys, that was fire. Drop a VW in the comments if that was an insane in-home presentation right there, guys.
And how many podcasts have you listened to? If you were just guessing the amount of hours, not the training calls, not the Monday training call, Wednesday training call, Friday and Saturday, but on your own podcast, how many hours would you estimate you've listened?
I have no idea, Jordan, because I don't listen to the radio. I don't do anything other than listen to podcasts, to books, and to training calls and everything while I'm driving, while I'm, between appointments. And the majority of my time, I am in between appointments. So whatever time I have free, I am learning. Whatever is available to me, podcasts, training calls, books. I am obsessed with Dave Anderson's books. So I have them all and I listen to them over and over and over again in my car, as well as all the podcasts I can get my hand on. So if you ask me how many hours, I have no clue. I mean, whatever hours I have available, I am listening and learning.
So like, just to add to that,
probably 10,000 hours.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So sometimes, it's 2 or 3 in the morning. I get to bed and I'm like, what are you listening to? And she's listening to some call or something. And I'm like, really, at 3 in the morning? And she's like, yeah, I just wanted to hop on this thing and hear it because I didn't have a chance today. So that's the difference when it's that 10,000 hours, like you said, right? So that's what makes the difference if you're immersed in it.
I can tell because the lines that come out are literally like the podcast or the trainings. It's literally like I'm listening to the TNL, right? So either I didn't do a good job and I need to back up, or, like, are you not with me anymore? Like, that's the thing about the best producers is they have soft closes, 7, 8, 9, 10 soft closes throughout the presentation. And I love it. Can you go over what you were just hitting on it, Adriano? But so can you guys, for your schedule, so like, if you're going to bed at 1, 2 in the morning, what time you're up, what time you start consuming trainings, what time you're dialing, what does a Monday look like? And what does a Thursday look like? And then what does a run day look like?
Well, for me, me and Adriano, it's different right now because we have a newborn, right? So we're up all night.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Our schedule is messed up, but we're skating right now as much as possible. But go ahead, tell them what your Monday looks like.
I'm up usually, normally, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I meditate in the morning. I read. And then I go on with my day. I'm always listening to something that's helping me better myself and learn, because the thing that I find, Jordan, is that in this business, I said that during the conference, it's a business of repetition. You want to do what I'm doing, do what you want to get my results, do what I'm doing. It's that simple. If I want to get, Greg's results, I just have to do what he's doing, right? Which is like 75 hard, which is like impossible because he's a massive monster and amazing. But basically, for me, my dial days are I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Right now, our schedules are kind of like crazy because we have a baby, so we're up all night and we go as the baby goes. I wake up at 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock. I already have everything ready to go. Last night, I put all of my needs on the phone burner. I have everything ready to go. 7 o'clock, I'm sitting from the computer. I'm getting ready. 7:30. Usually I'm dialing, right? And
for your actual schedules, how many leads did you put into phone burner last night?
How many leads? I will put whatever I have available because I do my own mail drop. So whatever comes in that week that's available, I will put in there, and I will still dial all of the other leads that I wasn't able to get to. If for some reason I don't have enough leads, because I run mostly mailers. And then if I don't have enough, I will go into the CRM and grab whatever I can have, for instance, and I'll put in there. I don't have a specific amount of leads that I need to have, as long as I need to have enough appointments. So if I don't have enough appointments, I'll go into CRM, I'll grab more leads, and I'll make sure that I do. I need.
Okay. Got it. So if you just need more there, instant leads, you'll just grab.
Sorry, Jordan, you cut off. I couldn't hear your question.
I think he was saying,
so when you so for example, if you've only booked 11 appointments and it's 4 o'clock, will you just go in and grab instant leads or new internet leads or age mortgage? What do you do from there to grab more leads?
I will grab whatever I can. And if I can find any leads, I will get up and I'll door knock whatever I have that people are not picking up. Because a lot of times, especially if it's like later in the evening, like you're going to grab people home. And I've had situations when I first came back, I was on bed rest for a little while, and I had these leads and my leads weren't coming in fast enough. So I said, you know what, I'm just not going to call. I'm just going to door knock to book appointments. And I took this Saturday, and I was 7 months pregnant. My legs were swallowing up and I was exhausted. And I'll never forget this. So I wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I am like in the car at 7. I start door knocking at 7:15. And noon, I was exhausted. 7 months pregnant. My legs are big. And then I had the Dave Anderson book, Unstoppable, on my car. And that book kept me going. And that day, I door knocked until 9 o'clock at night. I booked 9 appointments. The next day I went on the field and I wrote $16,000 just by door knocking those leads that I couldn't get a hold of in any way possible. I tried everything. So, I mean, a lot of times you have money sitting on your hand and you just don't realize that you have to find a way to just, get a hold of those people. And a lot of those people told me, oh, nobody got in touch with me. I'm like, yeah, I've been trying. It's like, oh, I don't answer numbers I don't know. And I'm like, that's why.
Exactly. That's how I do every recruiting call as well. Every recruiting call, every dom, like, oh, you probably are just like me. You don't answer numbers you don't know, huh? Then they say yes. And I go, that's exactly why I'm here. And then you're in, right? That's almost as good as saying, perfect. That's exactly why I'm calling. It's like, yeah. Oh, you're probably just like me. You don't answer numbers you don't know, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And it's for example, yesterday was one of those. I couldn't get in touch with this woman. I got lit on the field. I had appointments all day, and I got think about all day long. And I usually don't get think about, but it's okay. I kept going. My last appointment, I got there, she wasn't there. I called her and she said, oh, I texted you to cancel. I said, well, I didn't get a text, but I'm here. So she opens the door for me. Well, she was out, she came there, she opens the door for me. I came inside, the nicest lady, she gave me pizza. And 3 hours later, I had written $7,000, and I'm going back to write probably another 6 or 7 because I'm replacing, her life policies. They're about to expire. Wow. So, and she wanted to cancel, and I booked that appointment by text message. Wow. Because she wouldn't pick up the phone.
That's incredible, Vivian. So, I mean, you just made $7,000 off a text message that wanted to cancel. I mean, that's the level of like intent, like, you know, hey, and you said the day wasn't the best, but because you had that determination and drive, you're able to get that sale, get that $7,000 and then have another $7,000 lined up. And I mean, that's insane. Like, guys, best business ever. Okay. Unbelievable. Now I do, I really love all the information. I could probably talk to you for like 10 hours asking you all these questions because I have so many, but I do want to talk.
Literally let her talk. We could just let her talk and like we could be the company training.
Exactly. That's just the company training. I do want to talk to you guys about recruiting as well, because you guys did explode in the past 90 days. Adriano and Vivian, both you guys have been killing it on that end. So we do have a couple questions that some of our agents did submit here. So the first thing they want to know is how did you set up your recruiting? How do you set up your recruiting systems? Like, do you have recruiters, you know, stuff like that? Do you have like stuff like that? Lead sources?
What videos or links do you expose first? How do you keep it simple? You know, just like some easy, quick tips that you guys, and we'll kind of get more in depth after that.
Sure. So the way we set it up is, well, at first we really didn't have a clue what we were doing or how were we gonna, get this started. But the first thing you have to do is make a decision to commit 100% to recruiting and building a team, because it's not for everyone, right? Like there's a lot of work involved, and the last thing you want to do is not have a really, really solid structure and foundation in place. So what we did was, Viv's background is as a chief marketing officer. So like she's been in CMO and Facebook ads and all this kind of stuff for eons now, right? So what ended up happening is we decided we were going to use Facebook ads to generate our leads. And once we had that in place, we needed to find a CRM that was going to be, intaking and receiving all of those candidates, right? So, and then we set up automations. So it's a little bit more involved, but it's worth it in our eyes, where people are really scheduling their own interviews with us throughout. And I mean, we're just flooded with them on a daily basis. So to touch on what Jordan asked about the keeping it simple, it's literally a Facebook ad that we have out there. It says, these are the top things. These are, make this amount of money. Our agents are our top producers, learn from the best. Click through for more information. There'll be a form they fill out. That'll take them to a landing page that basically has our company name on it with the video of the corporate overview. That's like the biggest test for someone who's wanting to get into this is, did they watch the video before they scheduled their interview? Because
I love that. Can they follow instructions?
It's key, because I mean if they can't just read one little line that says, please watch this video before scheduling your interview, and then right below the video it's schedule your interview, and what they're doing is just going ahead and scheduling it. That's the first question I ask them. Like, hey Jordan, yeah, great, so I got you on the phone, blah blah blah, the intro, and then I'm like, so my first question for you is, did you have a chance to watch the corporate overview video? Yeah, I kind of watched it. Well, what do you mean you kind of watched it? And I'll just like mess with them a little bit, because I don't want to waste my time. Oh, dude, yeah, I watched like 5 minutes of it. I said, okay, so this is going to happen, Jordan, because I have about 25 more calls to make. So what you're going to do for me, because I mean, the video, this is the way I put it. The video does a way better job at explaining the opportunity than I do. I'm going to sound very long-winded. The video is great. It's concise. Do you have 15 minutes to watch that video right now? So then that's a second test. Yeah, okay. Or where was the link? What link again? And then it's like, you're done. You're done. Take it easy. So I'll send them the link and I'll be like, okay, let me know when you're done. And those people typically don't answer back. And some do. Some are like, yeah, great, I'm really interested. Let's get on the phone. So I'll squeeze them in where I can, because I'm off to the next.
Do you have a number of no's or a number of yeses you're shooting for on a daily basis?
I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because, and this is a line that I use in my recruiting, like when I'm speaking with people, I literally tell them straight up, I'm not looking to recruit everyone under the sun. I'm really not. I'm like, there's tons of agencies out there that will pass you through a sieve and just throw you out there and be like, good luck, buddy. And they want to see what sticks, So for me, we pour a lot of time into our agent. Like I'm working 24/7. I had to, because this call was scheduled, I had to shift my interviews over to one of our team members who has a recruiter that's dialing, who's recruiting today. So I had like 6 or 7 interviews on a Sunday.
And are your interviews 30-minute slots or an hour
Yeah,
slot
they're
or
30. They're 30. So I book every 30 minutes. And some people, I don't know, everyone has to find what's comfortable for them. And for me, it's 30 minutes because on the odd no-show, I mean, you're going to get no-showed even with, recruiting as well. It gives me it gives me an opportunity to follow up with everyone in the pipeline and just get stuff done and like push people.
Dude, I love hearing, because like, Adriano, like you guys and Vivian, you as well, are the complete opposite of Alexander and I, where you guys come in with a high business acumen, you know how to handle your calendar and schedule your calendar appropriately and effectively. So where some people come into this is the first business they've ever been a part of, or maybe the second business they've ever been a part of. So can you talk about, how you schedule your Google Calendar, or how you use your Apple Calendar, or whatever calendar you use, and try to remember back when you were first starting, because I know you guys do, you have been in entrepreneurship, but like when you're first starting to control your calendar, what are a couple tips of advice you'd give to someone who wants to go to that next level of being in control of their time and their schedule?
I think Vivian's going to touch on this for sure. For me, go ahead, Viv. We're going to say the same
we'd love
thing.
To hear both of you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that your schedule is the key to success. That's very, very important. And when we first started, we came from a different company, but when we first started, there was somebody that inspired me. And I learned from her that schedule was everything, because you could be a phenomenal producer, but if you don't have your schedule together, you're not going to be able to set enough appointments. You're not going to be able to get enough done during a day. You're not going to be able to be organized to get to the results that you're looking for. So it's key to be able to have success, on the production side of things, as well as the recruiting side of things. And in specifically when it comes to running a business. When you have a bunch of agents that are in the field, and we try making ourselves very available to everybody in our team, because we want them to learn as they go. We want them to be able to rely on us when it comes to underwriting, when it comes to being home and being comfortable. So I need to make sure that my schedule is going along with their schedule and going along with Adriano's schedule, so everything can flow, very easily and smoothly.
So what I can add to that is when you're sitting down, like everybody has to do this. You have to sit down and find out what you're doing at certain times of the day. Like just print out a sheet, print out a planner, whatever you need, or use your Google Calendar. That's what we use. And just block off certain sections. Like these are the times I'm running. These are the times I'm dialing. These are the times I'm going to recruit. And then really, really hold yourself accountable. I mean, where we, obviously with Luca, our newborn, it's a little bit more challenging, but I mean, we're trying. Like I'm still on the phone Monday morning. I pushed it to like 9 o'clock starts for recruiting calls, and I'm on the phone till like 8 or 9 at night, and then some, following up with the candidates. So I think Vivian and I, we have a really good synergy. We're a little bit opposite, but we're very, very driven and passionate. It just comes through in different ways, of course. Viv's more in your face, and I'm more like behind the desk, like let's get this done. But it's good. It's complementary, and we had to work. At first, it was a mess. Like even before the baby, we lost our way a little bit because so much is going on. So that's why it's really important to kind of determine or slot different hours or different time slots throughout your calendar every single day, and hold yourself accountable so that you're meeting your objectives. Because I mean, there's no other way to do it, to be honest.
Intentional. That's the key too. You set up your time. We use Google Calendar, and we have shared calendars. So I can see what Adriano's calendar is. He can see what my calendar is. And we have one calendar that's me and him. Whenever there's something that we both need to be on, calls or meetings or whatever it is. So I can see.
What about staff?
Staff as well. I have all of our staff, they have their own calendars, specifically when it comes to recruiting. Even our for example, our top producers now are starting to mirror our recruiting programs, like whatever Adriano's doing. We have Austin Harless and we have John Harrison, which are top producers. They're doing the same thing. So Austin's wife is now, he's Adriano, and then we're hiring a recruiter for John. So I have their calendars on my calendar, so I know exactly what's happening. And then we have an idea. Say, Adriano, Jocelyn doesn't have enough interviews today. Can you reach out to her? Can we give her some of our interviews because you can't get to all of them? That's
game changer.
Let's make sure that Austin's team is interviewing enough people, and we don't need to get so many people in our team anymore. So a lot of times we slot some of our interviews to them to make sure that they are growing, as fast as we are, because we know that this, and I mean, you, Jordan, this business is not about me and Adriano. This business is about my downline. I need to make sure my downline is taken care of. I need to make sure my downline is happy. I need to make sure my downline has the right training, has the right support. And if they're building, if they're putting money into building, they're putting money
growing.
Into growing. It's very important that we're helping and pushing them up, because if we push them up, we're pushing us up as well. But at the end of the day, to me, it's I mean, my downline, my agents, my team, I would give my blood for them. I tell them they're my kids. So it's important for us to make sure that we're making sure everything is smooth, and the schedule is key to make that happen.
Yeah, that's so powerful. I can feel the massive momentum that would create when you have, so how many staff do you have in total?
Well, right now we have, in between our team, we're still a pretty small team. We have Adriano is taking care of, all the building. Austin has a recruiter. We had a recruiter, but now Adriano is taking care of everything. And then John is getting a recruiter. So we're gonna have, between all of them, it's gonna be 3 recruiters, 2 admins, and we're starting to hire right now somebody to take care operations management, because with me in the field all day, Adriano recruiting, I need somebody to be taking care of all back office stuff and social media.
So you're putting that in place right now.
Right now, I desperately need somebody for social media. If anybody knows somebody that wants to come and work with us with social media, please tell me. I'm hiring.
Well done.
Yeah, it's cutting off again. I think the question is,
he's asking if someone's brand new and they're getting started and they have American Prosperity, what's your lead strategy for them?
Yeah, so what we do, and I think that's different than what a lot of agencies here do, and that for me, it's non-negotiable. We do every single agent, when they receive American Prosperity and AIG, right? I do a one-on-one strategy session, every single one of them, and it's non-negotiable for me. If somebody's going to be part of my team, if somebody's going to be coached by me, I need to know that person. I can't just get an agent, throw them in the field. So what we do is I get on Zoom with them. I have a sheet with a bunch of questions where I kind of want to understand where they're coming from, where they want to go, what's their ultimate goal when it comes to their career, how much they are willing to spend in leads. And at that point, when I know what it is that they are looking for and where they want to get, I make a specific strategy made for them. I mean, I always start every single one of my team members with instant internet live leads, just because all of our brand new agents are having so much success with it. And it's such an easy in-home presentation. There's not too much to think about. And even if it's not available in their area, it's just a 1 email away to send to Sasha and say, hey, Sasha, can you just, ramp up the leads in this area? And in the next week, there's a lot more leads. So we always start with instant internet live leads for a brand new agent. And I think that doing a strategy session with each person and kind of gathering, you know, like how are you going to do it for each person is key, because then you know exactly what work you're going to have to put into each agent to make sure to reach their full potential. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Well, I know we've talked to you for a while. I know you guys have everything scheduled out, so we'll wrap it up here. But I just wanted to thank you guys for being on the call. And I think, let's see, do we have any last questions before we hop off the call that anybody wanted to ask? I think we had a couple, but the strategy session, we got that. Lead strategy you want to recommend. You said you do instant internet leads, and then you probably recommend they get on some mailers as well, right?
Down the road. Nobody in my team can get in mailers unless they're issuing at least, you know, $10,000 to $15,000, because it's important that you have the lead flow to be able to, you know, keep that up. And I mean, I've made mistakes before where I got a lot of rollovers, you know. So no, mailers is something that you need to be issuing enough business, but a little bit down the road. And you know what? There's some people that come in here and skilling at $20,000 in their first 2 weeks, like Austin Harless, you know. And then yeah, he was on mailers like on his second week. He's already setting up mailers. But I mean, guys, the instants are, I mean, just go to work. Those leads are cheap. They're good. You know, like my top producers are door knocking them and making $7,000 in one home.
Wow.
You know, in a door knock. So they're very good leads. You just have to work them and cut off the excuses, because people will always find excuses with instants, with mailers, with, you know, Facebook leads, whatever it is. People are going to come up with the excuse. Cut off the excuses, go to work, make it work, you know, find a way to win. That's the goal.
Boom. There we go. I absolutely love it, guys. It's a pleasure talking to you guys. Honestly, I could talk for you for hours. But last thing before I hop off, guys, and I really appreciate you guys, where can they reach you on social media? Because I know you're trying to grow that.
Well, we have, I mean, you have my personal account, which is Vivian Weyll, the one with the black dress, because I have a few accounts. I don't know what the password is. I don't know how to delete them. The one with the black dress. Mm-hmm. That's me on social media. And we have our social media for our agency. It's FFL ARIA, Family First Life ARIA as well. It's easier to just, you know, get with me directly. Adriano is not a social media.
Give them your handles, or how they can find you on Instagram or whatever.
Instagram is VIWEYLL, so VI Weyll, my last name, and Facebook is facebook.com/VWeyll, I think.
So I'm like a ghost on social media. I'm not out there. So anyway, we might have to change that, but let's get them with Viv.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, it was an absolute pleasure. Jordan, if you want to say something real fast, we'll finish up the call.
No, I just appreciate you guys raising the bar and coming in here and just, you know, I mean, that's what it's all about, is making it easier for the next person to do it faster. What's your guys' goal by December as a team?
What's our goal, Adriano?
Well, it was 1.5, and then she comes out with these 2 millions. Every day it increases. So I don't even know what it is anymore. I was telling Alex that we have Dave Richards' little graph with the seedling that grows there and is showing his growth. That's on our fridge. And I look at that thing every day and I'm like, let's get this done. I mean, we're not here to play around. We're here to grow this thing.
Our goal was 1.5, but I'm the type of person that when something starts feeling like it's too easy, you need to raise it up to make sure you know, you can get as much as you can. And I mean, like, so like, for example, last week, our team submitted over $50,000, and we have people in the field today. I'm actually going to the field right after this. So, you know, that's right there. You know, by the end of this month, we're going to be submitting $100,000 a week. And I was like, okay, 1.5 sounds too easy. So let's raise it up to 2 million. He's like, what? I'm like, honey, we can do it.
Definitely can do it.
Like,
no doubt. 2 million, no doubt.
No doubt. 2 million. I can't wait to see that, guys. Thank you so much for being on the call, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having us, guys.
Guys, have a wonderful Sunday.
You too. Thank you.